So, other things regarding children's health. Children have lots of long-term health problems that disappear as they grow up.
Mm.
They build up a resistance to everything that's around about them, and so they go through a lot of problems. There are a lot of people who spend a lot of time sick as children and grow up to be very healthy adults.
Mm.
They grow out of the sickness, but it takes time. Just like, if you break a leg, it doesn't fix instantly. And the viral elements they're everywhere. It's dust, it's particles in the air, it's everything. It's allergies, it's weakened immune systems, it's stomach problems, it's an inability to digest food properly. It's processed foods.
Mm.
It's environmental. I would monitor. I mean, you do this anyway, right? But monitor where and when she coughs, right? Is it inside? Is it outside? Is it here? Is it there? Is it in this room? Is it in that room? Look for patterns, because most sickness is environmental. It's related to where you are. Okay. Like, say I get a headache when I lie in bed.
Mm.
So the problem is going to be something in this room, right? Here's my bed. So, it might even be like, I've got, here's a bad health thing. I've got my Wi-Fi router next to the bed,
Mm.
right? On a scale of 1 to 10, that's bad. Okay. That is very
Yeah.
unhealthy habit to have. Personally, I haven't noticed any problems, but I'm very much aware that if I do have a problem, I'm going to move that, right?
Right.
Because that's the first thing I'm going to do, because I know that other people have said that they have problems
Mm.
with that, and it affects your sleeping patterns. So personally, like I said, I haven't had a problem, but that would be the first thing I do if I did have a problem. Be aware of what is going on around about. Be aware of psychosomatic problems, psychological issues, right? Children who are sick, now I'm not saying this is your daughter, I'm just talking in general, okay? Children who are sick, do you know what they get? Lots of attention. Children who
Mm.
are sick get lots of attention. And what do children love? Lots of attention. Yeah. Now, this is, I'm not saying they plan it like that, but it would be natural, right? It would be natural to want more attention and to do whatever you could do to get more attention. And children would not see that as wrong within their own mind. So there could be psychosomatic effects as well. Check your own medical history. With your own parents. How was your health when you were a kid? How was your partner's health when she was a kid? Did you have similar problems? Did you
Mm.
ever have something? Maybe you had like a cough for 2 months or 3 months or 6 months, or maybe you didn't. I don't know. But it's good to look back into your own sort of genetic past and history, because
Yeah.
we're not just one person. We're
Mm.
connected to everyone and everything around us. Well, here's the other thing. We're all ill all of the time. None of us
Yeah.
exist without some kind of symptom. So, and what you focus on with your mind, it grows, right? You think about the problem becomes bigger. You think about the sickness might become a bigger problem. So it this attitude kind of made everybody paranoid
Mm.
about everything. Somebody goes, and everybody looks at them. Oh my God, they
Yeah.
coughed. Oh my God. And it created this paranoia about human health. Now, the thing is, there's no such thing as being 100%. Oh, where are we going? There's no such thing as being 100% healthy, right?
Mm.
We're lucky if we're like 80, 90% healthy, right? You know, a day without pain is a good day as you get older, right? So this idea of perfect health is a fantasy, and what is, you know, what is the end, you know, what is the end point? I mean, it's impossible. You know, perfect health is impossible. You're just chasing your tail, you know, like a cat or a dog running in circles, trying to have perfect health or perfect fitness. And also you don't get stronger.
Mm.
Remember in the past, remember when children were sick and parents had parties in the sick kid's house? Do you remember? That happened. That was reality. That was life. Children got sick and the parents would bring their children around to the sick children and they would party in the sick children's house. So their children got sick and their children got stronger because they survived the sickness. That was a real thing that happened, and parents did it to make their children stronger.
Mm.
Well, now we have the opposite of that.
Yeah.
This is the opposite. And the opposite is going to have a negative long-term effect of making children weaker. Now,
Yeah.
the sad fact is that there is disease and sickness and illness, and some of it is very serious, and people can die, and that's a horrible thing. But you've got two choices. Number one, you fear death, or number two, you love life.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's it. I mean, that you can make it more complicated if you want, but you either what's there's a what's the book, the book in the film Trainspotting, you know, it starts with the line choose life.
Mm.
You know, and it's got this big rant of, you know, choose life, choose a car, choose a house, choose a fucking big television, blah blah blah, right? So but that is actually, you know what that is from? That's actually from the Bible. It's actually stolen from the Bible. It's a biblical philosophy. Choose life is a biblical philosophy. It's used,
Mm.
you know, if you search that phrase, it's used a lot in the Bible as the right way to go. So yeah, modern lives are very toxic, and it is natural that children are going to get sick. This focus on perfect health is absolutely pointless. Where does it end? Because people are only talking about physical health now. What happens when it becomes mental health? Right? What happens then? Oh, you're not perfectly mentally healthy. You know what? Nobody is perfectly mentally healthy. Nobody anywhere. There's no such thing as perfect mental health. It's you know what it is? The perfect mental health is communism, because that's what the communists used with their enemies, right? If the communists didn't like somebody, they said, oh, they have mental problems, and they would take them and put them in a mental asylum. That's what they did with all their opponents. They put them in psychological hospitals. That's what they did with the Christians. Yeah, the communists took the Christians and put them into psych wards, psychological hospitals. It's what it's what the Chinese do with the Christians and the Uyghurs and the Buddhists and all the groups there. They just take them and put them in mental hospitals and harvest their organs. This search for perfection is here's my take. I don't want perfection. I'm not looking for perfection. I am not perfection, and I don't want perfection. Why? Because being perfectly imperfect, being perfectly not perfect is what we want. It's exactly what we want. Because we have to sharpen our sword on something. I had this really good conversation with somebody yesterday about this, where you don't want your partner to agree with you all the time. You don't want that. That's not a perfect relationship. That's subservience. It's being a servant, right? Nothing wrong with serving people, but you don't want your partner to agree with you all the time. You want your partner to say no because I have a different idea, and then explain the different idea, and then you want your partner to make you think about things. That's a good partnership. A good partnership is always challenging. If there's a partnership with no challenge, then that's because you're both too scared to try what you need to try and to say what you need to say. So it is very important to have that challenge, and part of that challenge in life is getting through illness and sickness, and making yourself healthy by sometimes having unhealthy experiences. That's why people swim in cold water. It's not comfortable to swim in cold water. Nobody likes it, but it's good for you, right? And so getting through that difficult experience is one that matters, and we won't ever find a solution to this quest for perfection, the uber human, the carbon zero goals, which are impossible. It is impossible to have an industrially orientated, product-driven society and have carbon zero at the same time. It's absolutely impossible. We can work on renewable energy sources. We have those already. We just don't use them very well. The sun. The sun makes the trees grow, turns your skin brown. It's good. There's lots of energy in the sun. We can collect it. We have all the technology to do that, and it's not expensive. It's not expensive. So, and that's been around. It's been around for a long time. So the answers are around and about.